All right, guys. Well, I'm back today with one of the most innovative barrel systems I've ever seen for a bolt-action rifle. What we are looking at is the Outlier Backdraft carbon fiber barrel system, and this is going to be available for a wide variety of calibers and different actions. Now, we will be talking about the specs and features of this barrel system, what makes it so unique, the company Outlier itself, and the fact that every single barrel system has a free can that comes with it. Now, this is a pretty awesome piece of tech that actually has an internal barrel system surrounded by a carbon fiber wrap, and in between that barrel system and carbon fiber wrap is a large voluminous chamber. At the end of the entire barrel system, you have hub-compatible threads, and you can thread on any type of hub-compatible suppressor. Once you thread on the suppressor, not only do you get the standard gas expansion, whatever suppressor you add, it actually traps the gases in between that voluminous chamber and circulates it around the length of the entire barrel and then back out the suppressor, making this an incredibly quiet and cooler shooting experience. With all of that extra space for the gases to expand, you don't put a ton of heat into one location, which allows it to run cooler and cool off quicker and also be insanely quiet. Let's talk about the specs and features of this barrel system, all of the ways that you can acquire this barrel system with different calibers and actions, and again, a little bit more about the company Outlier. Now, Outlier has done something pretty cool, and that is include a suppressor with every single barrel system ordered, and they also include them with orders over $500. Now, I actually have the code 704, which will save you even more money, and it makes this entire system incredibly affordable. If you use my discount, and all of the discounts are pretty good at this current time, you can actually grab an entire barrel system with the correct chambering and fit for the action you want with a can for sub $5. That is really good. The entire barrel system and the can. Now they have a 4-inch can, a 5-inch can, and a 6-inch can, and they're going to be specifically set up for the caliber you select, and we'll talk about the different caliber options in a minute. One thing to consider when selecting this entire system is you will have to wait for your can. They will ship separately, and this is an NFA suppressor, so you have to go through all of the proper paperwork. Now, right now, there's currently a lead time over 12 weeks, so don't expect it to get it anytime soon. And every single barrel system is going to be either custom chambered or custom fit to your action, so there will be a lead time on the barrel systems, but you can find more information about that from Outlier. Now, with that being said, you don't have to wait for your suppressor to show up. Again, any hub-compatible suppressor can thread on the end and you can begin using it. In fact, it's actually pretty cool with this little stubby guy that is hub compatible as well. You can thread a direct thread adapter, and I was actually running this on a 22. So that's really cool as well. If you already have kind of like a go-to rifle suppressor, you're getting one of these anyways, and this particular one is 6.5 millimeters in diameter bore, so it runs great on a 22, 17 HMR, or even something like a 223 or 5.56 with a very limited round count, because this is one of the aluminum suppressors. Again, you can pick yours out, and it comes with that backdraft system. And again, don't forget that code 704. Now, I've already quickly discussed how the backdraft system works, but let's dig into a little bit deeper understanding of how it performs and how it truly acts down at the range. The first thing I want to discuss is really dig into how it works, and you can see this large profile barrel is not actually a barrel. What you are looking at right now is the internal barrel system surrounded by that carbon fiber wrap, and it gives you that big, large, voluminous cavern. Now, you can fire the rifle without anything attached to the end, and the gases simply escape out the end of the barrel like a traditional barrel, and it sounds like a traditional rifle. So no quietness is actually happening with the barrel itself. It's not till you cap off the end of that and trap the gases in the suppressor that it allows those gases to go back down the length of the barrel and go back out. Now, again, this is going to really expand those gases into a massive expansion chamber, allowing it to be incredibly quiet, even with something like a micro 4-inch can on the end. And I found that firing the 4-inch can was pretty decent. It didn't ring my ears. Now, it's obviously a lot quieter with the 6-inch can. And again, it's compatible with all hub-compatible threads, meaning if you've got a real fancy flow-through can that is insanely quiet, you throw it on here and it only makes it quieter. The other cool thing is every time you fire a rifle and the gases come out and expand inside something like a suppressor, you're taking all of those hot gases and putting them into one location. Now you're expanding out that location from the suppressor to the entire length of the barrel, whether you select a 20-inch or a 26-inch. Now, the cool thing is the finished length and weight on the 20-inch is going to be 2 pounds, 7 ounces. And the finished length and weight on the full size, which is 26 inches, is going to be 2 pounds, 11 ounces. So insanely light. When you add the suppressor on the end, you are still looking at right at about a 3-pound setup. And that is thanks to the lightweight nature of the aluminum can or titanium can, depending on which one you select, as well as the carbon fiber wrap. On top of that, it's available in a wide variety of different options. Now, when you look at the barrel system, you're going to see it's going to be right at $4.99, but you do have to choose a finished length. Either finished length doesn't add cost to the actual barrel system. Now, if you want it pre-fit for an action, that is going to add about $45, but you can select from Remington, Savage, Savage Large, Howa, Tikka, and Bergara, making it awesome to fit whatever action you want. On top of that, they've got a ton of different bore diameters, and from there you can select your caliber. If you keep it blank, you're not going to add any cost, but again, if you select a specific caliber for it to be chambered in, it's going to be an extra $45. But again, use that code 704 and it brings the whole system back under $5. And again, that includes the chamber selection as well as the action selection and the suppressor ready to mount up to whatever action you select under $5. That is pretty darn cool. Now, the Backdraft system is going to be available in a few different selections, and we'll talk a little bit more about those right now. So the first one I want to discuss is actually the 6mm or 243. Again, once you select that Backdraft barrel system, you can select the specific caliber and action you want it fitted to. From there, it goes up to the 264 or 65mm, and again, you can select what you want. I'm actually running that right here, chambered in the 6.5 Creedmoor. You can also move up to the 7mm or 284, and then to the 308 or 7.62, so you have 4 main selections available. This is also offered in pre-fitted ARs, and we'll talk a little bit about those in a later video if we happen to get one out to the channel. But know the versatility and chamber and action selection, again, are freaking awesome when it comes to compatibility options. But you also will have to wait a little bit because they are making that specifically for you. Now, these guys claim a 40% slower to heat up thermal signature, and I could definitely see that. I could run this a lot quicker and immediately put my hands on the can without it being so hot that I couldn't unthread it. That also helps reduce mirage signature, which is key for precision shooting, and it also did an amazing job of that. The next thing is they claim it's rapid cooling, 42% faster to cool, and I could definitely see that as well. Again, because you're distributing the heat load over the entire system with some insane surface area, it cools very fast and it works out incredibly well. Therefore, you can shoot this a lot longer without it heating up, and you can cool it down a lot quicker without sitting there twiddling your thumbs down at the range, which is really key for precision shooting. You always want to let your system cool down, especially when it comes to mirages and barrel warp. This did good. On top of that, it's quieter. And that was a no-brainer. It was a lot quieter running these basic cans, even the micro 4-inch, than a lot of other options if I would have just thread this on the end of another standard 6.5 Creedmoor with the same barrel length. That did amazing as well. And the last thing is it's accurate. I was plinking with this out to about 300 yards is the farthest as I can get on my land, but also shooting this for groups at 100 yards, easily under a 1-inch all day. And again, we are talking about not just an innovative barrel, but an affordable high-value barrel. Now let's talk a little bit about Outlier in general, and they're actually the sister company of Arkin, and that code 704 is both good on everything on Outlier, but also on Arkin. My favorites will be in the description below. Now, the Outlier chassis systems are also very affordable and modular, and you can also swap out the different Outlier stocks and grips and really fit this to specifically what you want. Now, the only thing they don't sell is the action itself, so YouTube don't get mad at this video. Again, we're not even talking about guns. We're talking about subcomponents. In summary, if you're looking for an innovative barrel system that really helps cool quicker, and run a lot longer without heating up, as well as just doing some pretty awesome stuff when it comes to being very quiet while shooting, and includes a can with your order, I'm loving Outlier. I think they really killed it, and I'm really glad they reached out to me and asked me to test and evaluate this product. I'm going to be honest, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be insanely expensive. And then after running it, I was just so impressed at the quality, performance for the price point. It makes sense that they're a sister company of Arken because Arken does the same thing with their optics. Again, code 704. Check the description. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.